I am Nate WL777 and this is Character Piece. Today we'll be reviewing an anime by the name of Kids on the Slope. This was originally released in 2012. This is a coming of age romance slice of life kind of anime. The story revolves around two friends, basically their friendships, their romantic interests, and also their love of jazz. The story itself, it's not a overly extravagant story, but for what it does a good job. It's just a slice of life kind of tale where I think the best parts of the storyline definitely have to do with obviously the relationship with the two main characters, but I think that the music aspect of it works out well. There's times that they kind of pull away from that. I wish that they would have added that in a little bit more, but especially those parts I really enjoyed when they have the band and they're playing music together. I like that stuff. I thought that worked pretty well, but for the most part, I mean, this thing flowed well. There wasn't a lot of slow moments, a little bit at sometimes, but I think a lot of that subtlety actually worked. This is the example of those kind of animes where that does work. So you want some little bit of slowness and subtleness in it to help build that world, which I think they did a pretty good job of. I think that they definitely built the world well. This is kind of a throwback to the 60s. It's a period piece. I think that's what it took place in the 60s. So I think that they captured all of that pretty good. Like I said, very good with the world building. Let's get into the animation. Yes, the art was solid. Like I said, nothing mind-blowing, but definitely not bad at all. It painted a good world, and I'm a sucker for period pieces. I like those a lot in movies if they're done well and they make you really believe that you're there in that time period. And I think that they do a good job with that. Again, nothing mind-blowing, but nothing bad at all. Characters, I think that the characters were definitely done well. Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped something on my animation. I wanted to say that I think the best thing that they did in the animation also was the music scenes when they were playing music together, dancing and stuff like that. Those were really good aspects of it and good parts that I thought worked very well. So I do wish that they would have done a little bit more of that because I really was brought in during those moments. I'm kind of a big fan of jazz anyways. I like jazz. I can definitely listen to it, and I think this movie does a really good job of intertwining intertwining the music in with the story and making it play its part as kind of its own little character. I thought that was done good, and from the character's perspective, they were done well. But I think that there was a little bit of corniness every once in a while. Nothing huge, nothing that really took me out. For the most part, they do a good job of kind of fleshing those characters out. The chemistry between them I thought was very well as well. I really believed, a lot of the character motivations and things like that. So that part of it worked for me. As far as the voiceovers are concerned, voiceovers are fine. They're serviceable. I thought maybe a little bit whiny. One of the characters a little bit whiny at times. Kind of took me out, but for the most part, yeah, they're definitely done well. Mostly interesting. The dialogue that they gave them to work with, I thought was pretty good. Again, very simple story. Things in this anime are lighthearted and easy to digest. This isn't something that is not too much of a thinker. Everything's pretty straightforward, and I think that worked out in their voices and their dialogue and for what they were saying. So I thought that was good. As far as is it okay for kids? I don't think that this would be a problem for kids. I think there are a couple moments where maybe there's some sexual references, but nothing overly done. And I think the one that I thought that there was a moment where I thought that something was going to happen, and then it didn't really happen. Nothing happened like that. So that was cool. I think that's fine for kids to watch. As far as my favorite character is Santero. He is kind of the bad kid, but I think it's just more of what he's kind of perceived as a bad kid. He's not that bad. He's actually got a good heart. He's a caring guy, especially for his friends and his family. He seems to do well. He's a bit of a knucklehead though, and Yeah, so he had a lot of good humor. I think he was probably the most humorous person in this, so I very much enjoyed that. And he was kind of awkward around girls and stuff. So I thought that they did a good job of building his character, and I related to his character on a lot of different points. So I felt like he was definitely my favorite in the anime. I did kind of like all of them. I cared about them. They definitely did a good job with that. So. As far as for my rating on this, I'm going to give this an 8.2. It's definitely worth a watch. Like I said, it wasn't nothing mind-blowing. It just kind of a middle-of-the-pack anime, but it definitely was worth watching. I enjoyed it. When I got done, I very much still had a smile on my face, and there was never a moment where I thought that I didn't like it. That's for sure. I thought everything worked for the most part well. So, like I said, just nothing mind-blowing, but very solid. So I would recommend this to anyone who was looking for an anime to watch, especially if you like these kind of humanizing tales. It's a good one, and it'll leave you feeling very satisfied when you're done watching it. So yeah. I'm going to go ahead and share a link below, as I do in all my anime reviews. If you got anything out of this anime review, give me a like, give me a subscribe. Comment below, did you think I was too high or too low on this rating? Is there another character that you like better than mine? Let me know your thoughts below. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again in the future.